There's a technology being implanted into human brains right now that could read your thoughts by 2030, and that's just the beginning of what's coming. We're standing at the edge of a technological revolution that makes science fiction look tame. Over the next 5 years, innovations once confined to dystopian movies will become everyday reality. These aren't distant possibilities. They're technologies actively being deployed, tested, and perfected as we speak. And while they promise to solve humanity's greatest challenges, they also carry risks that could fundamentally reshape what it means to be human. Here are the 5 scariest future technologies arriving before 2030, backed by real data and currently unfolding in laboratories and boardrooms across the globe.
Number 5. Brain-computer interfaces. In January 2024, Elon Musk announced that Neuralink successfully implanted their first brain chip into a human patient. 29-year-old Noland Arbaugh, paralyzed from the shoulders down, can now control a computer cursor and play video games using only his thoughts. This isn't a miracle. It's a coin-sized device with 1,024 ultra-thin electrodes threading directly into brain tissue. The brain-computer interface market is projected to explode from its current valuation to over $6.2 billion by 2030, according to the World Economic Forum. Companies like Paradromics and Precision Neuroscience are racing alongside Neuralink, and all have the same ambitious timeline: commercial availability within 5 years. But here's what keeps neuroscientists awake at night. These devices create a two-way highway between your brain and external computers. That means data doesn't just flow out, it flows in. Imagine advertising beamed directly into your consciousness. Picture governments or corporations accessing your private thoughts. Think about hackers gaining control of the neural implant, managing your motor functions or memories. The technology is bidirectional by design, raising questions about mental privacy that humanity has never faced before. Who owns your thoughts once they're digitized? Can your memories be altered or deleted? If an AI system connects to your brain, where do you end and the machine begin? Musk himself stated that brain implants are necessary for humans to remain competitive as artificial intelligence advances. The implication is terrifying. Get chipped or get left behind.
Number 4. Deepfakes and synthetic reality. In early 2024, a finance worker in Hong Kong transferred $25 million to criminals after a video conference with his company's CFO. Every person on that call, the CFO, the colleagues, even the background details, was a deepfake. Not one person was real. This isn't an isolated incident. Deepfake fraud is growing at a staggering rate. According to recent analysis, generative AI fraud losses in the United States alone are projected to reach $40 billion by 2027, a 32% annual growth rate from $12.3 billion in 2023. North America has experienced a 1,740% increase in deepfake fraud attacks. The technology has crossed a threshold where humans simply cannot distinguish real from fake anymore. The generative AI market is exploding, projected to grow 560% between 2025 and 2031, reaching $442 billion. 46% of fraud experts report encountering synthetic identity fraud. 37% have dealt with voice deepfakes, and 29% have seen video deepfakes in action. Voice cloning is particularly insidious. With just seconds of audio, AI can now replicate your voice so precisely that even your own family members can't tell the difference. Research confirms humans cannot consistently identify AI-generated voices. We perceive them as identical to real people. Imagine receiving a frantic call from your child begging for emergency money. Their voice, their cadence, their fear, all genuine. Except your child is safe at school and you've just wired thousands to a scammer halfway across the world. But the real danger extends beyond financial fraud. We're entering what researchers call the liar's dividend, a world where authentic recordings can be dismissed as probable fakes. Democracy itself becomes vulnerable when voters can't trust their eyes or ears. Video evidence in courtrooms loses credibility. Trust in media, institutions, and even interpersonal relationships erodes. By 2030, we may reach a synthetic reality threshold, a point where verification technology becomes the only way to distinguish truth from fabrication.
Number 3. Autonomous weapons and killer drones. In 2020, a Cargo 2 drone hunted down and attacked a human target in Libya without any human giving the order. According to a UN Security Council report, this may have been the first time an autonomous killer robot armed with lethal weaponry attacked human beings entirely on its own decision-making process. That was 5 years ago. The technology has advanced exponentially since then. The United States military is developing swarms of autonomous combat drones through programs with ominous names like Project Venom. These aren't remote-controlled devices, they're AI-powered weapons that communicate with each other, make tactical decisions in real time, and execute missions without human oversight. Deputy Defense Secretary Kathleen Hicks announced plans to deploy thousands of autonomous systems to counter adversaries through mass with mass. China, Russia, Israel, and dozens of other nations are racing to develop similar capabilities. Small autonomous drones equipped with facial recognition and explosives could be programmed to hunt specific individuals or entire classes of people identified through social media profiles. A $25 million order could contain enough drones to kill half a city. Chicken wire and basic defenses won't stop coordinated swarms that can communicate and adapt. The UN Secretary General has called using machines with fully delegated power to make life and death decisions morally repugnant and is pushing for an international ban by 2026. But 152 countries voting in favor hasn't stopped development. The technology exists, it works, and it's already being deployed on active battlefields. Since AI systems pick up biases from their training data, autonomous weapons are particularly dangerous for people with disabilities, women, and minorities. Facial recognition fails more frequently on darker skin tones. Wheelchair users can be misidentified as threats. And when the system makes a mistake and kills an innocent person, who's accountable? The programmer? The manufacturer? The commanding officer who never saw the target?
Number 2. CRISPR and designer humanity. In 2024, the FDA approved Casgevy, the first CRISPR-based gene therapy for sickle cell disease. Patients who've received the treatment are calling it life-changing. Some even say their life was given back to them. This is the promise of gene editing, eliminating genetic diseases that have caused suffering for generations. But CRISPR's dark potential is equally powerful. Recent studies from Boston Children's Hospital found that CRISPR gene editing carries previously undiscovered risks. In up to 5 to 6% of cases, the technique causes large DNA rearrangements that can theoretically trigger cancer. When you're editing millions of cells, which is standard practice in blood disorder treatments, even a small percentage represents thousands of potentially cancerous cells introduced into a patient's body. The bigger concern is germline editing, making changes that pass to future generations. In 2018, Chinese scientist He Jiankui shocked the world by creating the first gene-edited babies, twin girls with modified CCR5 genes intended to provide HIV resistance. The international condemnation was swift, but the genie was out of the bottle. The technology to create designer babies already exists. By 2030, CRISPR will be refined enough that parents could theoretically choose their children's eye color, height, intelligence, athletic ability, and susceptibility to diseases. Wealthy families and developed nations could engineer superior offspring while everyone else relies on natural genetics.
The gap between the genetically enhanced and the natural born could become permanent and heritable. There's another layer of horror. CRISPR's precision makes it the perfect tool for creating targeted biological weapons, pathogens engineered to attack specific ethnic groups, age ranges, or individuals based on their unique genetic code. In 2012, The Atlantic described a scenario where the US president could be assassinated by a highly contagious cold designed to target weaknesses in his specific DNA. Off-target mutations remain a serious concern. Nearly 30% of gene-edited mouse lines in one large study harbored unexpected mutations. These errors compound across generations. A mistake made today could affect humanity's gene pool for centuries. And then there's the ethical nightmare. Who decides which genes are defective? Disabilities rights advocates warn that CRISPR could be used to eliminate neurodiversity, deafness, dwarfism, and conditions that many people don't view as diseases at all. We'd be editing entire categories of human beings out of existence under the banner of genetic improvement.
Number 1. The Convergence. The scariest technology before 2030 isn't any single innovation, it's what happens when these technologies converge. Imagine autonomous weapons equipped with facial recognition deepfakes to impersonate commanders and issue false orders. Brain-computer interfaces hacked to implant false memories or extract classified information. CRISPR-modified humans enhanced for combat with neural implants for instant tactical communication, fighting wars against unmodified populations. We're not describing science fiction. Every component exists today. The only question is how quickly they'll be combined and weaponized. The pace of change is accelerating beyond our ability to regulate or even comprehend it. Technologies that would have taken decades to develop now advance in months. Ethical frameworks designed for yesterday's innovations are obsolete before the ink dries. International agreements on AI weapons, brain privacy, and genetic modification are years behind the actual technology. By 2030, your thoughts could be readable, your voice and face perfectly replicated. Autonomous machines could make life or death decisions about you, and your genetic code could be edited before you're born. These aren't distant dystopian possibilities. They're technologies in active development by governments, corporations, and research institutions worldwide. The question isn't whether these technologies will arrive before 2030. They're already here, being refined and deployed as we speak. The real question is whether we'll develop the wisdom and safeguards to control them, or whether we'll let them control us. We're not programming tools anymore. We're programming our replacement.
What do you think is the scariest technology we didn't cover? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if this video made you question the future we're racing toward, hit that like button and subscribe to the AI Edge. Because understanding these technologies is the first step toward controlling them instead of being controlled by them. The future isn't written yet, but the code is being compiled right now. The algorithms that will shape 2030 are being trained today. The policies that will govern artificial consciousness are being drafted now. The boundaries between human and machine, real and synthetic, natural and designed, all of it is being negotiated in laboratories and boardrooms while most of humanity scrolls past headlines too frightening to absorb. We have 5 years. 5 years to establish guardrails, demand transparency, and ensure these technologies serve humanity rather than replace it. The clock isn't just ticking, it's counting down to a transformation more profound than the Industrial Revolution, the Internet Age, and the Atomic Era combined. This is the AI Edge, reminding you that the future is terrifying, inevitable, and still within our power to shape. See you in the next one. Please subscribe.